Hello you beautiful people out there, what is going on? This is your friend Birdie coming at you fast with another How to Pro video, and today we are going to be talking about how to Sevarog like a pro. We're going to be looking at some little nuanced things with Sevarog while you guys are enjoying some interesting gameplay. Essentially Sevarog's on both sides here, but the thing about Sevarog is he's a beast, okay? He's a beast from the east, as I missed that subjugate, but he's probably, he's arguably the best jungler right now, and he's a goddamn tank, as I'm tanking these shots, tanking this tower, and keeping my team alive. So that's what Sevarog does, alright? So we take a lot of damage here, and we're gonna retreat, but you're gonna see us come back stronger and better than ever before, okay? So, I'm running away here like a little bitch, but Sevarog usually keeps his carry alive, when our carry was kept alive thanks to the help of Penguin Hitler on Wraith over there, using your subjugate, using your Colossal Blow to peel for your carry. That should be your main priority, okay? You have two priorities, always. You have two priorities as a tank. To get in the face of the enemy carry, so you soak up all the damage, and to protect your carry from getting killed. Being able to choose between these two options as Sevarog is the most important thing. But Sevarog's even more confusing because then you also have his stacks. Sevarog's very passive, and he requires a lot of farming to scale very good in the later game. That's where Sevarog shines, is later on in the game when he can just become a complete and total tank and beast. And we're looking at a black wall here because I'm picking out my cards for ages and ages at a time. But having that ability to scale better than any other fighter is massive in place of Sevarog's strengths. So, early game, the only time you should really gank is when your teammates really need it, or are in grave danger for it, because you really want to focus on farming up those stacks. Now, you do want to help your teammate, obviously. Like, if you know, dropping 4 minions is way, it's worth it if you save a teammate's life, or if you kill an enemy by doing it. You shouldn't be farming jungle while your carry is getting killed over here in safe lane, for example. But at the same time, if you have spare time, you should always be farming as Sevarog. If you're not getting objectives, you should always be farming. And there is a great example of how to farm very effectively as Sevarog. A big misconception about Sevarog is that he only gets his stacks by using his Soul Siphon, and that's not true. It was true back on Legacy, but now it's not true. All you have to do is get the final killing blow, get a last hit with any of his abilities, whether it's his Soul Siphon, his Subjugate, or his Colossal Blow, as you see me right there with the Subjugate, get those final kills, get those last hits on those minions to get the stacks. A great combo to pull off is use your Colossal Blow or your ultimate, and then use your Soul Siphon up against 5 minions, and you'll get all 5 very easily. And you won't have to worry about missing out on those stacks because you'll kill all of them at once. I wouldn't recommend using Subjugate for farming because it takes a lot of mana. Only use it when you're just about to back and refund that mana, or about to get River Camp or whatever. But for the most part, you want to be very careful when it comes to farming. You don't want to run out of mana. That's the hardest thing with Sevarog, is managing your mana between farming and fighting. And as you go on later on in the game, his mana scales pretty well as well. So you'll have a pretty good amount of mana. And having some cards like Quenching Scale giving you mana regen is pretty good as well. Now with Sevarog, there's nothing else that's really hard about him besides just setting him up. That's what a lot of people do, is they try to rush and try to be an early game jungling savage that invades jungle and stuff. And that's good if you have your teammates with you. But Sevarog is a really hard hero to use 1v1, unless you're 1v1ing a carry, because anybody can 1v1 a carry, because of all of his peel. He specializes in crowd control. He specializes with his root, with his knockback. He's really good for setting up kills, especially in team fights, and that's what you should use him for. Be very mindful of diving towers. Only dive towers when you are with your team, when you are with and always with your team. Be very careful and mindful of going in on the enemy too hard, as to the point where you are forgetting about your own carry and your carry is dying. Remember, you want to protect your carry. You want to be like a second support, but, really fucking tanky and someone that can actually do damage. But again, if your carry is in trouble, save your carry. If your carry dies in the team fight, there's not much you can do. You can't really take Orb Prime. You can't really take control possession. Right here I try to body block for him, but he strafes to the right and he ends up dying again. You guys seen this clip from my previous video on Sevarog, but it's just a great show of just how to be careful with Sevarog. and how to, you gotta fucking protect your carry, bro. You gotta protect your carry. Now, with Sevarog, as you see here, I'm actually a tier 3 in my shoulder pads. The shoulder pads will grow out to be bigger once I get 140 stacks, and that's one thing that I wanted to talk about. Let's go ahead and switch this over to the final minutes of the gameplay. You want to be timely with your stacks. A good method to follow is every 7 minutes you want to be growing in your stacks. Okay, so at 7 minutes you should have 20, at 14 you should have 50, at 21 you should have 90, and at about 28 you should already be maxed out. Now, I am not the greatest Sevarog in the world at this moment in time and haven't had the greatest practice, so I'm not maxed out as of yet. But extending it, if you're having trouble, those are like the golden times, okay? That's if everything goes perfectly. Try going by 10 minutes, okay? Or even 8 minutes, right? 8 minutes in, you should have 20. 16 minutes in, you should have 50. 24, you should have 90. And at about 32, you should have 140, which will give you your final tier of stacks, because every time you go up in tiers, you gain more damage on your Soul Siphon and your Colossal Blow, which of course is always a good thing to do. You do more damage, and that's why Sevarog scales better than any other jungler, because of his abilities, because he scales better in ability damage than any other fighter, and he's also a goddamn tank. But again, fighting with Sevarog is important, using that peel is important, so good strategies, good combos to use. Colossal Blow, then root them with the Subjugate, as you're going to see here. I think I do it to someone. Focus the squishies if you are going to go in for the squishies. No, I go Subjugate first, then I do Colossal Blow, because I know I have Richter over there who can have some more CC. And I know that Thrillia, or the Revenant, was going to get melted right away. If you're not so sure about killing the enemy, if you're going to knock them into the towers, then definitely use Colossal Blow, then Subjugate to root them under the tower. If you're just peeling, then Subjugate them for that easy, slow, and then that easy Colossal Blow into your team. You guys like those bars? I know you guys like those bars. I mean, overall, Sevarog is just really intimidating to play because there's a lot of micromanaging that goes on with this hero. That's the hardest thing, is just knowing when to do what. And the more you play with Sevarog, the better you guys will understand with the timings with him and what he can do and what he can't do. And of course, always build him tanky, because he's just the best tank in the game, dude. You build him tanky, and his abilities will give you the damage instead of just building ability damage cards. So definitely just build him tanky, yo. You won't regret it. He's pretty awesome. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, drop the like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Remember, micromanaging is the most important thing is Sevarog. And as always, make sure y'all have a wonderful day. Peace.